Fanya hivi.
We have our holiday coming up.
Guys, please make sure you're muted.
Okay, normally live is working. Okay, it's working.
barely out of sight. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Fueled on the sea that horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number. Fueled on the sea that horizon, turn us to thousands. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
Okay, hello everyone. Yelena, should we start?
So guys, we will proceed with the roll call right now. I hope you're all ready. We start with Asepa, Algeria. I for Argentina. Naps, Australia. AFIP, Austria. ISFA, Benin. IFA, Benin. Any representative from Benin? Okay, thank you. SAFPUM, Bosnia and Herzegovina. CPC from Burkina Faso. CAPSI, Canada. CEP, EUB, Democratic Republic of Congo. CEP, EUB, Democratic Republic of Congo. Any representatives from Congo? FECOF, Costa Rica. CPSA, Croatia. CPSA, Croatia. Are there any delegates from CPSA Croatia? Okay. CCPSA Czech Republic. SOP Denmark. Any representatives from SOP Denmark? EPSF Egypt. TUPS Estonia. TUPS Estonia. FIPSA Finland. FIPSA Finland. ANEP France. PPHG Germany. GPSA Ghana. HUPSA Hungary. Okay, thank you. MAPS India. ISMA Farsi Indonesia. IPSA Iran. IPST Iraq. APS Japan. JPSA Jordan. JPSA Jordan. There are no representatives from Jordan. Okay. CAPSA Kenya. KNEPS Republic of Korea. LPSA Lebanon. MyPSA Malaysia. AAP Mali. FEFAMAX Mexico. FEFAMAX Mexico. If there are no representatives from Mexico. BEPS Morocco. KMPSV the Netherlands. NZOPSO New Zealand. PANS Nigeria. PPHSF Pakistan. APFI Peru. PPSA Poland. APF Portugal. QFIS Qatar. FASFA Romania. RPSA Rwanda. NAPSA Serbia. NAPSA Sierra Leone. NUPS Singapore. SPSS Slovakia. CISFD Slovenia. FEF Spain. SNAP Sweden. ASIP Switzerland. TAPSA United Republic of Tanzania. TAPSA. Again, TAPSA. Okay. PCAT Thailand. IFAD Togo. IFAD Togo. Any representatives from Togo? ATIP Tunisia. TPAYC Turkey. UPSA Uganda. BPSA United Kingdom. APHA ASP United States, and ZPSA Zimbabwe. ZPSA Zimbabwe. ZPSA. Okay. We have 54 members present and voting. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Yelena, and welcome again to the session. We are still proceeding with the reports, and now we'll start with the reports of the team. Just a notification as we go with the agenda, we might start with elections today. It depends on the discussion and the level of the discussion throughout the session. So just be aware of that. We will start with motion 37, which is the report from the permanent officer and advisory board. You already had the report, and if you had any questions, I hope it's answered. I would like to proceed. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, can I have a proposer to resume the standing order proposed by KMPSV the Netherlands, seconder? Seconded by MyPSA Malaysia. All those against? Motion carried unanimously. We are now resuming with the standing order, and I will go directly to the motion 37, which is the reports. As I said, you already have the reports and the time to ask questions. I would like to proceed with the discussion. So I now open the floor for discussion. If you have any questions, points, please use the Google form so we can give you the floor. Okay, I see none. Is the General Assembly comfortable with proceeding to voting? All right, we are also using the NEMO vote. Ryan?
Okay, Ryan Exico, I will be needing at least 5 minutes to be able to update the voting list. So I would kindly ask General Assembly to be patient. Thank you.
Okay, just please notify us once you have it ready. One more thing, please make sure that you rename yourself so we can be able to recognize you. AP Portugal, they're preparing the vote now. My apologies for the delay. And once it's open, I will let you know. Okay, so until the NEMO vote is ready, we've been notified that we have some of the observers, our partner organization from IFMSA, and the representative on their behalf is Mr. Saad. We would like to give him the floor to share some few words. So Saad, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me / see me, everyone? I hope, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, great to be here with you, everyone. And I'm Saad from Morocco, the liaison officer to students organizations from the IFMC, International Federation of Medical Students Associations. Basically, yeah, one of the strongest partners and long life partners, I would say, of IPSF. We've been always working together since long time ago, since I was even born, I guess. Yeah, so basically, as medical students, pharmaceutical students, we represent health students all around the world from more than 100 countries right now. And yeah, I guess our aims is to empower our members and again to create a network between our students, not only between medical students or pharmaceutical students themselves, but also between each other. And this is what we're aiming for here, to create this network, not only on the international level, but as well as the national level itself. And here this year we started a really amazing initiative with HERA and Mishkat. We're aiming to create national health students alliances so that you can come together, work with other students and create some really impactful actions and raise your voice nationally. So again, if you want to network and work with medical students in your countries, make sure that you contact HERA or Mishkat, or I'll also leave my email here and WhatsApp if you need to get in touch with me directly. And let's get in touch with medical students and other health students in your countries, and start some really strong alliances and do some impacts on the national level. Other than that, I just had another point to share maybe about, the current situation and how we as healthcare students are really, breaking the status quo. And here we are today. IFMC, we are also having our online general assembly during this time. We started at the 1st of August. We ended our plenaries, but we're still having our standing committee sessions, which will finish tomorrow. So basically, as you can see, we were able to break the status quo and even with the consequences, come together and do our sessions online. There is some network access challenges. There are time zones challenges, but over that, we were able and you are able to come together and unite as we always do. So I wanted to congratulate you for that, and also wishing you a very happy and successful General Assembly, and also for the next team to be elected, and for all the people running, all the best. So that's it from my end. And again, make sure to get in touch with Hera and Mishkat so that you can get in touch with other medical students and health students in your countries, and let's collaborate together.
Thank you so much, Saad, for your words, and we're happy to have you here with us. And I hope that you'll be able to join the rest of the sessions. We have some hard times, but feel free to join any sessions you want. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you for the invitation.
For sure. All right, so just to let you all know that we still have some of the partner organization as well, and we will be giving them the floor as they're ready. So we will now just proceed with the voting. I think the voting is now ready.
Yes, Ryan Execo. So motion 37 is open to vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Okay, we're missing 6 votes now. Can I have an update from NEMO team? Okay, can we know who are the 5 missing? Okay, Ryan, can I have the list of the members who are missing, please? Okay, so for now we're missing Croatia and Rwanda, but I don't think that Croatia is. Okay, can I get a confirmation that we only have the people who was in the roll call and now we have all votes? No, yeah, we corrected this now. Croatia was not in the roll call. Okay, so now we have the rest and voting should be closed. Yelena, can you provide the results, please? Can I have the results on the screen? Okay, so motion 37, the 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the reports of the Permanent Officer and Advisory Board for the 2019-20 mandate. The voting result was 48 for and 2 spoiled. So thank you so much. And also I've been notified that we have representative from our partner organization from the European Pharmaceutical Student Federation, Mihai. Will you be able to take the floor, please?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mihai Ionita, and I am the EPSA president for the 2020-21 mandate. I wish to thank you for the kind invitation to join here. I wish to congratulate the team that is now finishing the mandate for the work they have done in the past mandate, and to wish good luck for the candidates and the fruitful mandate. I wish you fruitful discussions in the GA. I hope I will be able to attend as many sessions as possible, and I hope for a fruitful collaboration in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mihai, and we're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so Yelena, we can proceed with the next motion. All right, so we're using the same process as we did also last year, and for the sake of the General Assembly, now we're doing the same thing. So we will have all team reports that were received all together in one motion. However, as I mentioned before, for all the previous motions, if any one in the General Assembly feels uncomfortable about one of the team members or some of them, and you would like to have them in a separate motion, please feel free to address me on that, and we will be able to do it accordingly. So I'll just assess the General Assembly before I proceed. Would you feel comfortable to proceed with discussing all reports together? Okay, so the coordinators that we will be discussing is as it appears in the screen, but also we're missing some. Is it possible to adjust the screen, Yelena, or can we try different? Okay, yes, that's better. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's better now. So I would like to open the floor for discussion. If you have any points, question, please do share them through the Google form. Okay, I see no question. Is the General Assembly comfortable with proceeding to voting on this? Okay, Ryan, can I have a confirmation on NEMO vote? Okay, now we have a confirmation that motion 38 is now open for voting. Please proceed. Ryan, can you please confirm to me the status of NEMO vote?
Okay, Ryan Execo, I'm facing a technical. I'm trying to open it. Give me a few seconds. Thank you.
All right.
Ryan Execo, or voting is open. Thank you.
Okay. Please, guys, proceed with voting. Okay, we have a technical. Text to the motion. Ryan, can you, or Joao, anyone responsible for NEMO vote, can you explain?
Yes, so there is a technical with NEMO vote. The text was too long that we could not open it. So the text is displayed like on the screen, and we only wrote the number of the motion. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion is displayed on the screen. Please look at the motion, and unfortunately we won't be able to write it all, so you can vote accordingly. Our apologies. Okay, we're missing RPSA Rwanda and Japan. Can I have a confirmation if Rwanda and Japan are in the room? Okay, TPAYC Turkey, have you managed to vote? Okay, we're checking it now. TPAYC Turkey, we are trying to solve the issue now. RPSA Rwanda, are you in the room? RPSA? All right, everyone. So our apologies one more time. We found out that TPAYC Turkey could not access and it was not added to the system and they were present during the roll call. So we cannot just ignore the vote. We will have to redo the voting and our apologies for that.
Okay, so technical, I already opened like a motion for them and they can vote normally in a separate motion, like in a separate vote, but they can vote for on the same motion.
Okay, so do we have all the voting now? Everyone from... Ryan?
Yes, like we're waiting for them to finish voting. Let me check and I will be updating you accordingly.
They just confirmed that they voted, so I think they had the access.
Yes, they voted and I will be adding that to Yelena's results.
Okay. All right, so can we have the final results presented on the screen? Okay, can we have the results now? Okay, because can we adjust the screen because I cannot see the results properly, but we can now proceed. So motion 38, the 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the reports of the Policy Coordinator, Parliamentary Coordinator, Development Fund Coordinator, Grants Coordinator, Interprofessional Coordinator, Organization Membership Coordinator, Individual Membership Coordinator, Affiliation Coordinator, Event Manager, Information Technology Manager, Social Media Coordinator, Visuals and Creativity Coordinator, Editorial Coordinator, Pharmacy Education Advocacy Coordinator, Internship Coordinator, Pharmacy Education Research Coordinator, Training Coordinator, Clinical Skills Event Coordinator, Patient Counseling Event Coordinator, Compounding Event Coordinator, Industry Skills Event Coordinator, Pharmacy Profession Advocacy Coordinator, Public Health Advocacy Coordinator, Public Health Activities Coordinator, Pen Editor and Humanitarian Coordinator, 20 mandate. This is a long one. And the voting results can be seen down. I would like just to confirm if we have RPSA, because the one spoiled was RPSA Rwanda. Do we have RPSA Rwanda? RPSA Rwanda, are you in the room? Otherwise, your voting right will be. Okay, so I don't think we have RPSA Rwanda in the room, and if we can take them out from the NEMO vote for the next voting. Okay, so Yelena, we can proceed with the next motion. So for motion 39, we just want to let the General Assembly know that we haven't received reports from the Corporate Relations Coordinator and Branding Director. And further follow-up has been done, but unfortunately the reports were not received on time. So I would like to open the floor for discussion. Clarification from EPSF Egypt, you may take the floor.
Yasmina Gohari, contact person of EPSF Egypt. I just wanted to ask you for clarification. You said that they weren't received on time. So does that mean that the reports were received or they weren't received at all? Thank you.
Thank you. So the reports were not received at all. We don't have the report from those two. Okay, we have a point from LPSA Lebanon.
Adila Mdahlia, LPSA Lebanon. So I just would like to ask if the above mentioned coordinators are present, if they can just tell us why weren't their reports received. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, LPSA. Do we have Othniel and Hussam here? Hussam, would you like to start?
Yes, thank you very much. Branding director has not been answering me lately, not in emails, not in WhatsApp group, and not in private chat. So I cannot say why, and I cannot say why he has not submitted the report, but the work has been finished by myself. And I don't have any news from him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have Othniel in the room? Okay, Yelena, maybe you can clarify based on what you received from.
So Yelena, IPSF Secretary General, when I approached Othniel and the coordinators, I approached both of them, Othniel told me that the corporate relations coordinator was not responsive since a few weeks. So there's why the report was not received. And also just for clarification, why we have this motion and why we vote on this motion is because we need to vote on all the reports. And on these two coordinators, no reports were received. So what this means, you can't really vote on something that has been not received. So usually is that we vote that you vote against this so that we have it covered, and these reports were not accepted because they were never received, as a clarification.
Clarification from Isma Farsi, Indonesia.
For instance, Isma Farsi, Indonesia, thank you, Jelena, for the clarification. So I just would like to ask you again, if we are all voting for against, then what would happen with the two of the coordinators, and what IPSF will take for this? Thank you.
Yelena?
Yelena, IPSF Secretary General, what this means is that the report have not been accepted and their mandate has not been completed with this as one of the requirements, so they will not receive any confirmation letters if requested. And also what we usually do internally is that we won't appoint them for any other position if they may apply at some point. Again, thank you.
Okay, do we have any other points? All right, I'll proceed to voting, but before I proceed, I would like to assess the General Assembly if it would be maybe reasonable to vote on the chat on this one to avoid any technicalities with NIMU vote. Okay, so Pakistan, you're just correcting to yes, right? Can you just confirm that it's a yes? Okay, so I will start with 4 because as Yelena explained, there won't be any reasonable reason to vote for this one because we don't have the report. So I would like to ask all those for, all those abstaining. The motion was not carried and the reports are not accepted. Can we update the system? Petra?
Petra IPSF Advisory Board. I hope you can hear me well. Apologies for coming late with this, but I needed some time to read again the previous motion. I think you haven't approved two coordinators from the PE committee, which is the Pharmaceutical Sciences Initiatives Coordinator and Pharmacy Practice Initiative Coordinators, because there was still an old position in the motion, which was the Research Coordinator. Apologies for that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Petra. They will be added to the next motion. Okay, I was just assessing with the motion committee on how we can do this the best. And I'd like to give the floor to Agatha, if that's possible, to deliver the information better than me, maybe.
Okay, Agatha Motions Committee. So we've been thinking that if someone from the GA would like to propose a procedural motion to reconsider the motion, then the EXCO can make changes to the motion itself, and we can vote on it again. So I think that if any from, yeah, I see that we have already KNPSV. So I give the floor back to.
Okay, thank you. I don't see anything on the chat box. Okay, so now I can see it. So we have a proposal from KNPSV, the Netherlands, to reconsider the motion, seconded by PPSA UK. So I'm not sure if we can have the voting right on the chat box, and we need 2/3 majority for this one to reconsider this motion. Then we made the amendments. So I will use the chat, hopefully. So all those against reconsidering the motion, all those abstaining, motion carried unanimously. We will just do the amendments on the previous motion so we can vote on the missing reports. Can I have a confirmation if we have the voting ready and updated? Can we have the font smaller so we can see all the positions this time? Okay, I will take a risk as well and assess the General Assembly if you would feel comfortable to proceed with the chat box for this one. All right, so at first I would like to open, we will do the voting through the chat box, so we don't need the NEMO vote. It's a lot of technicalities, but I will open the floor for discussion one more time for the motion 38. If you have any points. Can you make sure that we have the two reports? Okay. Okay, we should have all the reports now. Okay, if no discussion. We will proceed with the voting, and as agreed, we will be using the chat box for this time. Okay, we start now. Yelena, can I have a confirmation that we have all reports, please, before I proceed to voting on this one? Okay, just to make sure that we don't open it again. So now I will proceed to voting. All those against? All those abstaining? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you so much, guys, and I apologize for the... Okay. I will do the voting one more time. Please make sure that you put your decision as fast as I say. Motion 38 as it appear in the screen. All those against? All those abstaining? Okay, we have one abstention. We will proceed to NEMO vote. Ryan, can I have a confirmation that NEMO vote is working?
Yes, so we'll be voting on motion 38, but I will not be displaying any text. So we will be reading it from the the screen.
Okay, my apologies, everyone. We need to use NEMO vote because it's going to be hard to track any votes now. So should be faster. So Ryan, once it's ready, please give us a green light.
Ryan Execo, the voting is open. You can vote now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Please proceed with voting. Okay, so I think we should have all now. Okay, can we close the voting and have the final results presented on the screen? Can we update the screen, please? Okay, so the motion 38 Passes with 45 for, 1 against, and 3 abstention. All right, I think we can proceed. Okay, so motion 40, we have the report from the auditing committee. I think that we have a representative from the committee here, Daniel.
Hi, can everyone hear and see me?
Yes, we can hear you and we miss you, by the way. You can proceed.
Well, thanks. Okay, so can I start?
Yes, please.
Dear General Assembly, my name is Daniel and I'm here to present the Auditing Committee report. I believe you have it on your GA folder. So for those of you who don't know what the Auditing Committee is, the Auditing Committee is committee that was formed to ensure the transparency of the Federation funding. And so in the report, I will just quickly highlight what is written in the report. So this year we started to add 2 additional members to the auditing committee. One is the past IPSF treasurer and the other one is the past IPSF exco. So in the report, you can find 2 auditing reports on the 2019 fiscal year and the 2020 fiscal year. So in the 2019 fiscal year, the committee found that there are some documentation that were not clear enough. However, the IPSF treasurer, the current IPSF treasurer, was able to clarify all of this unclear documentation at the end. So there was not any problem besides that in the 2019 fiscal year. Well, on the 2020 fiscal year, everything is going smoothly. I think Luca did a great job in managing all the data and ensure transparency to the auditing committee. He was working really well with the committee as well. And finally, the addition of the past IPSF treasurer, of course, is really beneficial, I would say, to the auditing committee, as it ensures the autonomy of the committee. And well, Mike did do a lot of work in the committee as well. So that's all I can share with you. If you have any questions, someone will let you ask questions. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel, and our apologies. It's I'm not sure what time is it now, 4 a.m. I guess, but thank you for being here.
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
All right, I would like to open the floor for discussion. If you have any questions about the auditing committee report, please feel free to share your point. Okay, I don't see any. Is the General Assembly comfortable with proceeding to voting? All right, thank you so much, Daniel. We will proceed to vote on the report now. Okay, everyone, so the voting is open. Please vote as soon as you can. So if you have a point, you will be given the floor after the voting finishes. So I would like now to follow on those who didn't vote. We have ANEP funds, CFARM, GPSA, Slovenia, and Benin. Okay, still ANEP, CFARM, and Benin. Now, CFARM and Benin, please make sure you vote as soon as possible. Now we have Benin. Do we have a representative from Benin? Benin? One last time, I'd like to confirm if Benin is still in the room. If not, we will have to take their voting rights. Benin? Okay, so I don't think that we have any representative. Can you hear me? I see technicals. I'm assuming that my voice is not clear. Can everyone?
Okay, guys, Yelena IPSF Secretary General, I lost connection, but I think we closed the vote. If I'm not mistaken, can I just get a confirmation when it's ready? Okay, perfect. So I can show it on the screen. So we have 48 full members in favor. We will now move on to the next motion, which will be the financial report. So let me just So we present now the motion 41, which is this: the 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the financial report 2019-2020. And I would like to give the floor to Luca.
Thank you, Elena. So I will just give you a short summary of what is stated in the financial report. Can you just confirm if you hear me well, because my connection was a bit shaky in the last few minutes? Okay, thank you. So first, part of the report presents the financial outcomes of 2019 financial year, because IPSF financial year runs from the 1st of January to 31st of December. So the latest closed year is 2019, and here you can see complete outcomes. And also there is the compilation report from the accountant attached to the end of the report for 2019. And for 2020, as we are still in this financial year, so it will end in December, it is still not closed. So this part of the report presents like income and expenses until the time before General Assembly. So it does not give complete summary because the year is not closed. That will be done in the next financial report. So the main expenses are pointed out together with payments of membership fees and some explanations. Yes, also development fund reports are also there for both years. So we actually had a question form opened for this report, but no questions were received. So feel free to ask any questions now, or if you need clarification of anything in the report. Thank you.
So I didn't see any questions being submitted. So if you have any questions now, please use the form, guys. I can't see everything in the chat. So if you could use, please, the form to submit your new points. I will now open the floor for questions. Can I have the first point on the floor? I will go for now with Isma Fassi.
Thank you, Luca, for the report. So I can see in your partnerships and grants, we received annual financial support from FIP that intended for IPSF activities and support for IPSF accountancy, as well as that we have 3,000 for IPSF online interregional industry. So due to the pandemic, could I know how the process is going right now with all of these partnerships and grants? Thank you.
Luca, you can go on.
Sorry, can you just repeat your last sentence? I didn't hear it clearly.
Okay, Lucas. So my last sentence is, can you tell us more about how is the current updates with all of these financial support for the partnerships right now?
Hi, yes, thank you for the question. So both of these both of these financial supports are already received. So the support for FIP is, we receive this support annually, and yes, it's usually in the same amount now for years. So this is general support for IPSF activities, and a part of it is intended for IPSF accountant expenses. So we have already received this in this year's, and yes, we are thankful to FIP for supporting us with this amount, especially now during the pandemic. And for the sponsorship for Industry Skills event, this was also received and resolved. So Ashley, the PD chairperson, did a really great job with finding sponsorship for PD events this year. And yes, this was, so this money was used, we had an online competition, and this money was used as a prize money for winners, and it was €1,000 for one team of each category, and then it was split among the participants, and all the payments were already done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Luca. We have RPSA Rwanda.
So Augustine, RPSA Rwanda. So I had an issue, technical issues at the beginning after roll call. So my phone was not responding, so I lost 2 votes. And when they call whether the RPSA is present, so I couldn't be able to say whether we are present. So I was proposing the motion whether we can get back the voting right. Thank you.
Apologies. So RPSA, it's very unfortunate, but if you were not present at the roll call, even with technical issues, we can't give you voting rights because you need to be present and show your presence with an eye on the chat, and we won't make any exceptions. So I'm afraid we can't give you the voting rights. Thank you. So yes, I'm sorry, RPSA, at the next roll call, you can receive the voting rights. If the motions committee wants to say also how to propose it, otherwise they can.
Okay, Yelena, so I will maybe give some clarification on behalf of Motions Committee, Agata Motions Committee. So the only way that we can grant voting rights to a person that was not present during the roll call is that someone else proposes to suspend the standing orders. The motion passes to suspend standing orders, then we resume again, and then we can give you the voting rights. Otherwise, you will have to wait for the next session. Thank you.
Okay, we have a next point from ASEPA Algeria. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. So Abir Bidaida, ASEPA Algeria. I would like to ask you about the situation now that the SEP fees have been amended. How do you think this will affect the usual finances of IPSF compared to usual? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. So I believe that maybe this is easier if you also at the same time look at the budget file. So our approximation is, well, as SEP fees are calculated based on the previous financial year. So actually the previous mandate. So we will see this decrease in SEP fees in the 2021 budget instead of this year when the exchanges didn't happen. But also we also had much less travel expenses mainly this year. So the proposed revised budget for 2020 takes into consideration these expenses that will not spend compared to the initial plans. So we made approximation of how much that will be while still leaving some amount in the budget just in case. So as you can see, this money saved up, actually, which remained unspent, will make up for most of the decrease in income from SEP fees next year. And also we will to this add some additional amount allocated from reserves to make it up for this. So next year's budget is proposed with these assumptions, and yes, then we will be covering up for this amount from reserves, and reserves also include unspent money this year. So I believe if the situation will be as it is now, that activities next year should not be affected much. So also the assumption is that next year will be like more or less normal with travels when this budget plan was prepared. But yes, it's also possible that next year also has some unexpected situations as pandemic is not over. So yes, there can be some unpredictable adjustments in the budget, but I believe that we are financially stable currently, and we also have reserves in case they are needed, but also no SEP means also no other IPSF travels. So even if next year there will be, if next year SEP won't be feasible, that would also mean that there will also be less expenses on travel. So it kind of decreases the burden. Thank you.
Okay, so I saw EPSF Egypt dropping the points. So are there any other points? I will give a few moments. If there is no any other points, I will close the floor. Or before closing, I will just assess, do you guys feel ready to vote? Okay, I see a lot of Ys in the chat. So I will now close the floor for discussion and we can proceed to voting.
Okay, so Ryan Execo, just clarification, do we have Benin with us or not, that I can update the system accordingly? I'm not sure, so please give me the information. Thank you.
Yelena IPSF Secretary General. So Benin is not here right now in the system. So either way, if they are not inside Zoom and have connection issues, they cannot vote on Nemo Vote right now. Thank you. So yes, guys, the vote is open. Please proceed with the voting as soon as possible. So we still have 3 votes missing. Okay, so the voting results are in, and I will now show them on the screen. So I hope you can see the results on the screen. I'm not quite sure, but it's 47 for, 0 against, and 1 abstention, which means we have, as shown on the screen, 48 full members present and voting right now, because unfortunately Benin lost his voting rights because they were just too long out of the room. Now we will go on to the next motion. Which is motion 42. This, the 66th IPSF General Assembly sets the annual basic membership fee at 27 euros, and I would like to give Luca the floor.
Thank you, Elena. Yes, so this is usually every year at General Assembly. The basic fee for membership fee is decided, and well, as you know, this is one of the factors which is used in calculating membership fees. Others are income factor and numbers factor. Yes, so membership fee was, and this basic fee was set at 27 euros for a long time now, and we do not see a reason to change it. We think it works well with this amount, so it's proposed to remain the same. Let me know if you have any questions or comments on basic fee. Thank you.
Thank you, Luca. So are there any questions and comments on the basic fee? If there are no questions and comments on the basic fee, I will close the floor for discussion. And I will give, okay, sorry. I will assess the floor if they are ready to vote. Okay, Thank you so much. So we will close the floor for discussion now and we can proceed to vote. Okay, we still have 8 votes missing as an FYI. Okay, we have missing MAPS India, NAPSSL Sierra Leone, PANS Nigeria, and PPSA Poland. You have 3 minutes remaining. We have PANS and PPSA Poland. Okay, so I've got a message from PPSA Poland that they're having connection issues. Okay, we still have PANS remaining. PANS Nigeria, please vote. If you're facing any troubles, please address it. You have less than a minute left. Okay, PANS, you have technical issues. What is it exactly? PANS? The internet connection is poor. Okay, sorry, Pants. I know you're present, but if you can't vote in the next 30 seconds, we will not consider your vote. Please try. Okay, the time is over. We will now close the vote, and I'm showing the results on the screen. So guys, as you can see on the voting results, we have 44 in favor, 1 against, and 2 abstentions. This means the motion was carried. But I would also like to address that we see quite a few abstentions on every vote. And if you're facing any problems or don't understand the tool, then please address it to us, because abstentions are only here if you don't have enough information on a motion. And I think we always assess the floor and ask you guys if you feel ready to vote. So this means you should have enough information to do so. That's just a point of information. If you have any troubles understanding, then you can always address it, okay? And I will now give the floor back to Aya. I hope she has now stable internet connection.
Okay, can I just confirm if you can hear me? All right, my apologies for the technical issues. Before we proceed to the next motion, I was being told that we have the representative from FIP, Ms. Eva. Thank you so much for joining us, and we would appreciate if you can take the floor and address the General Assembly on behalf of FIP.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, good. So thank you very much for the invitation and for the possibility to follow your meeting. It's I would say about 40 years since I myself was participating in the IPSF work. And I'm very glad to see that everything has gone very much forward, and your enthusiasm and your professionalism is really on the high level. And I can also see it in the organization of this meeting, that in these very difficult conditions, you have been able to organize this this meeting and carry on all these voting procedures and everything else. So I congratulate you, and I look forward that we can continue our collaboration, not only supporting you financially with your accounting issues, but also in all the other questions in whatever we are trying to take forward in FIP. And so the students are also the future of our profession. And in this case, I think I can be really, or we can all be very, very sure that the future is bright with your leadership and your work. So thank you to give the possibility for following the meeting, and just continue the good work you are doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Eva, for being with us here in this session. It's such a pleasure to have always a representative from FIP and to have the support from all the FIP members. And we hope that you will be able to join us in the upcoming sessions as well And thank you so much on behalf of IPSF for your presence. Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, Yelena, I think we can proceed with the next motion. Okay, so we have a motion on behalf of the European Regional Assembly, and I would like to call Mr. Joao on behalf of the European region to present the motion and to give the motivation. But we already, if you can remember, we already had an option to put this motion in the agenda to be discussed. So, Joao?
Should I read it, Aya?
Yes.
The motion first?
Yes,
okay,
please.
so the European Regional Assembly approved this motion, which reads, this the 66th IPSF General Assembly mandates the Executive Committee to allocate to each regional office yearly budget a minimum of 25% of the membership fees paid by the member associations from the respective region. This shall be achieved by the 1st of January of 2021 using memberships collected from the previous financial year. The Executive Committee will allocate the amount in this year's annual budget plan proposal, and these motions will not be reviewed once it has been achieved. So can I proceed with the motivation from the Regional Assembly?
Yes, please, Joao.
Okay, so as this motion was approved in the Regional Assembly, it's my responsibility as the chairperson of Euro to bring you this motion and provide the motivation. I was trying to make a motivation that really tries to reflect what was said by the member organizations during the Regional Assembly. So the Regional Assembly believes that the current regional budget is not enough to support the work of the region. The European Regional Assembly understands that IPSF is global, but the budget distribution is unbalanced. The European Regional Assembly believes that this is a small change to the budget, but a big step in supporting our members without negatively affecting the regional budget. The regional budget doesn't allow visiting member organizations, nor meeting with professional organizations, making the regional working group have to pay personal funds to travels, and people will be less interested in applying for regional working group positions because of that. The Regional Assembly believes that this is a step in the right direction to support the work of the regional office. Thank you, Aya.
Okay, thank you. So now I open the floor for discussion on this motion. I will proceed with the speakers list as I see it in front of me. I have first MAPS India.
Thank you, Niranjan from MAPS India. Actually, before we start the discussion on this motion, I would like to propose to reinstate the voting rights of the members who lost their voting due to network issues, because this is a very important motion and concerns all the regional, all the member associations of IPSF. So yes, I would like to propose this motion. Thank you.
MAPS India, can I ask you kindly to repeat what you said?
Okay, thank you. Niranjan from MAPS India. I wanted to propose a motion to reinstate the voting rights of the members who had lost it due to network issues, because it's a very important motion, and it wouldn't be fair because just because of internet issues that they're not able to take an important decision like this. Thank you.
Okay, Yelena, IPSF Secretary General, can I just confirm, Aya, that you're here?
I would prefer, Yelena, if you can take over the chairing for now until I have stable internet. My apologies.
Okay, thank you. I would like to give the floor to the motions committee to present the rightful procedure with this motion. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Yelena. Agata Motions Committee. So does it mean that, in other words, what you would need to do right now is to propose a procedural motion to suspend standing orders. And I see that we have already many people who would like to second it. So after we propose it and we have a seconder, we will have a vote on suspending the standing orders. If it passes, then we will have to resume the standing orders, and then we can again give voting rights to everyone who is present currently at this moment in the room. Please let me know if you understand the procedure. Thank you.
So the motions committee just now presented the procedure. If you would, if the members would like to proceed with this, you would need to propose such a motion, right? Okay, so I have a proposal, MyPSA Malaysia, to suspend the standing orders. Procedure motion seconded by Isma Fasi, Indonesia. Can I just ask, like, this needs simple majority, right? Motions committee?
I think so, but I will just double check.
Please double check.
Yes, simple majority.
So guys, we have a proposer and a seconder. This means we will now vote on the motion. This is a procedural motion, so there are no abstentions on this, and I will ask who is against this motion to suspend the standing orders. Okay, because I see there are definitely a lot of against, we would need to assess and we would need to use Nemo vote for this, because just to not make any mistakes in counting the votes. So please give us a bit of time to prepare this. Thank you.
Okay, Yelena,
Okay,
it's prepared.
so I just Sorry, Joel, please go on.
It's prepared, so if you want me to open it, I can do it.
Please open it.
Okay, it's open. Thank you.
So please vote. We have still 13 votes missing. 11. 10. 'Okay, we have Thailand missing, NAP Sierra Leone, CAPSA, and PANS. CAPSA, PANS, NAPS, and Thailand, PCAT. Please vote. If you face any issues, please address them. NAPS SL, sorry. CAPSA and PANS, please vote. CAPSA, you are missing. So we're done, and I will announce the results as soon as they're ready. So we have on this procedural motion 32 for and 14 against. This means by simple majority that the motion passed. So now we can suspend the standing orders. I have a technical from CAPSA. CAPSA? CAPSA, do you want to say your technical, or was it about the NEMO vote? If you don't address it, I will just go on. Which means that network issue, okay? CAPSA, we will now, the motion to suspend the standing orders passed, so that means we will now proceed with a different, with another roll call. So guys, you have to be present and you have to have at least a small stable internet connection to be present at the roll call. So I will proceed with roll call right now. Please be ready. Remember, only one OD per association. And those who type a Y in the chat will receive voting rights, okay? I will start now with ASEPA Algeria. Alpha Argentina. NAPSA Australia. Alpha Austria, Alpha Benin, now we first, as SEPA, we first do the roll call and then we resume the standing orders again, if that's clear. Okay, Alpha Benin, Safkum Bosnia and Herzegovina, CFARM BF Burkina Faso, CAPSI Canada, CAP UOB Democratic Republic of Congo, CAP UOB Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, please. There are no representatives. FECOF Costa Rica, CPSA Croatia, CPSA Croatia. If there are no representatives from CPSA Croatia, CPSA Czech Republic, SOP Denmark, SOP Denmark, EPSF Egypt, TUPS Estonia, TUPS Estonia. If there are no representatives from Estonia, FIPSA Finland, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, GPSA Ghana, HUPSA Hungary, MAPS India, ISMA Farsi Indonesia, IPSA Iran, IPSD Iraq, APS Japan, JPSA Jordan, JPSA Jordan. If there are no representatives from JPSA Jordan, KEPSA Kenya, KNIPS Republic of Korea, LPSA Lebanon, MyPSA Malaysia, AAP Mali, FEFAMEX Mexico. Thank you, please rename yourself. BEPS Morocco, KMPSV the Netherlands, NZAPSO New Zealand, PANS Nigeria, PANS Nigeria, thank you. PPHSF Pakistan, APFIP Peru, PPSA Poland, PPSA Poland, PPSA, APF Portugal, QFIS Qatar, FASFA Romania, RPSA Rwanda, RPSA, thank you, NAPSA Serbia, NAPSA Serbia, NAPSA, if there are no representatives from Serbia, NAPSA Cell Sierra Leone, Okay, Napsa. Okay, Napsa. Noob Singapore. SPSS Slovakia. ŠSSFD Slovenia. FEF Spain. SNAP Sweden. ASEP Switzerland. TAPSA United Republic of Tanzania. TAPSA. TAPSA, if there are no representatives from TAPSA. PCAT Thailand. IFAD Togo. IFAD Togo. Sorry if you lost your internet connection, but your member association has been called out already. Sorry. IFAD Togo. ATEP Tunisia. TPAYC Turkey. UPSA Uganda. BPSA United Kingdom. APHA ASP United States. And ZPSA Zimbabwe. ZPSA Zimbabwe. If there are no representatives from ZPSA Zimbabwe, this means we have currently 54 members present and voting. Can I just check on Aya if you're here? And
I will try one last time. Can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Can I have a proposer to resume the standing orders? Yelena?
Yes.
Please take it from here so I don't wait further. I'm not sure what's wrong with the internet, but I would prefer if you take it from here so we can go faster. Is that okay?
Okay.
All
So
right,
we
thank
have
you.
we have a proposer and a seconder to resume the standing orders. We will not vote on this procedural motion. Anyone against resuming the standing orders? I see no one against, so the standing orders are resumed. And we will now open the floor for discussion on this motion, as Joao already presented the motivation. I'm not quite sure, MAPS, is this a new point from you? Then I will take MAPS India.
Sorry, this was for the previous motion. It still hasn't been changed.
Okay, thank you, Maps. Then I will take my PSA Malaysia.
All right, thank you, Elena. Kishan from my PSA Malaysia. I would like to ask, since this motion is involving all the regions of IPSF, I would like to ask the opinions of all the chairpersons of the regions on what do they think about this particular motion. Thank you.
So, are there any regional chairpersons wanting to address this question? I see a direct from Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha Motions Committee. So just a reminder that it shouldn't be a personal opinion because Executive Committee should not give personal opinions. Maybe you want to ask what would be the benefits for the regions or like advantages and the disadvantages for each region. That would be a better, formulated question because now you are asking about the personal opinion, kind of, in the way you phrased it. Thank you.
Okay, so my PSA, are you okay with the question that Agatha proposed?
Yeah, Kishan from my PSA Malaysia. Can I rephrase my question?
Yes, please rephrase your question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So my question is to the chairpersons of the regional offices, can I ask how do you see this motion benefiting your respective regions? Thank you.
Do we have any regional chairperson wanting to address this question with a direct? Purity, are you here? Do you want to address the question? Okay, Purity, I'll give you the floor.
Okay, thank you. So I only see a disadvantage that would amplify inequalities between the regions. So that is what I have to say.
Thank you, Purity. Do we have, okay, point of information from Bram?
Bram Campus, the Netherlands. As you can all read in the investigation that was shared with you, this will not be a disadvantage for the other regional offices. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bram, for the point of information. We have a clarification by Luca, IPSF Treasurer.
Luca, IPSF Treasurer, I would just like to clarify some points of the investigation. Because what the investigation refers to is that, yes, this minimum amount would not set up, and it means that minimum amount for regions other than Euro is already lower than the regions other than Euro already receive. So this means that if we set this minimum amount, the Euro is one region that would see increase, but other regions would not see any increase unless it's proposed to decrease budget in the future, unless to be lower than it is currently. But we need to keep in mind that it's that budget, when we are doing budgeting, we have a fixed amount that we have to allocate in a way that we think benefits our needs the best. So if there is increase in some part of budget, it means that we cannot increase different part of budget. Okay, I hope it provides some clarification, but you can let me know if you need any more clarification on budgeting procedures. Thank you.
So guys, I see already a lot of clarifications and we still haven't addressed all the chairpersons. So I would like to ask you if this really to not complicate the discussion, but I will still take Maps India, and if, yeah, Maps India, let me know what you want to say.
Thank you, Anna. I would just like to clarify with the treasurer. So if we implement this motion, there's a chance of it affecting the budget expenses of other programs and activities in the region? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Luca? Luca, you're muted. Luca, you're muted.
Sorry. Yes, I'll try to provide some more clarification on how the budgeting for regions are done. So maybe it will make it more clear for the discussions. So as I said, we usually allocate a certain amount to each region in the budget. The current practice is that each region receives equal amount of the budget for the respective regions. So currently they all have the same budget. Okay, I can also give some examples. So for example, if we find a place in the budget to increase the budget for the region in total, and for example, I will give amount of 1,000 euros, then we have different ways of allocating this 1,000 euros. So, well, then we can, for example, as it is done now, allocate this to be equal distribution among all the regions. Or so this is how it is done in the current budget proposal. And in case this motion pass, this would mean that with this minimum amount, the Euro budget would be increased to be higher than the other regions. So the increase in budget would go just to Euro region. So I believe, based on this investigation, that the other regions could remain about the same as they are now. I don't think there would be decreases, at least, yes, but there will also not be increases in the budget. So because all the increase would be focused just on the Euro region. Thank you.
Thank you, Luca, for the clarification. And if you need further information from Luca, please submit it as a new point so that we can follow the order exactly. I will now go on with the chairpersons of APRO. The chairperson of APRO, Mike, please.
Okay, thank you, Yelena. So this Michael, APRO chairperson. So I think the comment I would like to address has also mentioned by Luca and also Purity. So like by the means, probably like if this motion carry out, like there will be an inequality for the regional budget, because like beside European regional office, like the other regional office will still have the remained amount for the regional budget to use. So I think that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We would now have Ryan, but I think Ryan is not here with us right now. So Ryan, can I confirm if you're here or not? If not, then I will go on with João, please.
Okay, João, chairperson of Euro, considering the direct impacts of this motion on the budget for the European Regional Office, I would say that depending on the way that the extra funds are decided to be spent, they would allow the regional working group to increase the spendings on external representations to professional partners and also visiting member organizations, considering that the European region is a region with hopefully in the next mandate 35 member organizations, so a very big region, and also a region where the purchasing power is higher. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so I will go on with JP. JP, are you here?
Yes, Yelena. Thank
Please
you.
go on.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean-Pierre Regalado. I'm the IPSF chairperson of PARO. I would like to say that this motion, there is no benefit in the case of the Paru region because it is based on a number of member organizations, and considering the IPSF Paru is the region with the less number of member organizations in IPSF, there is no benefit for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now we have had almost all the chairpersons. I will take the direct from BPSA if it's really a direct.
Sebastian Bailey, yeah, it's direct. Sebastian Bailey, BPSA, United Kingdom. So some interesting points from some of the chairpersons about inequality. If I may, I might read some numbers. So according to the motion, investigation 56, Afro, I'm rounding up some numbers, Afro pays 1,630 euros, APRO pays 5,800 euros, MRO pays 3,788 euros, Euro pays 14,350 euros, Paro pays 3,500 euros. So that means that Afro is currently in their regional budget getting over 100% of their membership fees. APRO gets 30%, MRO gets 46%, Paro gets 49%, and Euro gets 12% of what they currently pay back in their regional budget as membership fees. So there is also inequality in the balance of the membership fees. Thank you.
Okay, can I have the direct list updated? Thank you. I think BPSA was just, thank you. We have NAPS Australia.
Hello, Ella from NAPSA Australia. I suppose now this is a direct to Sebastian. I would just like to know, so from what you said.
Sorry, NAPSA, sorry, you can't have directs on the direct. Your direct has to be on the chairperson's opinion or the question that was addressed about the regions having disadvantages or advantages on this. Thank you.
All right, I'll have to drop then.
Thank you so much. You can submit it as a new point. GPSA Ghana, if you have this as a direct to the regional chairpersons having stating their opinions. Yes, we can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I think we're seeing the inequality in a different way because we are just looking at it from the perspective of the regions giving more, receiving more. And IPSF is not a profit-making company or a business, so it doesn't necessarily to be from the perspective that who give more, receive more, because the inequality here for me should be then in the long-term run, because I'm referring to what Sebastian said. It means that at a certain point in time, let's take note that the limited countries in the world, IPSF is probably going to a point where any additional to your region not give you any significant difference in the of money. So of course, when this ends over a long period of time, there's going to come a time where the 4 different regions are going to have 4 different budgets based on the 25%. So maybe those who are given the second highest now feel like, oh, then we should not the same level with these. We should receive more. So if the motivation that was given is that you're doing this because you need more money to travel, it's not. I just want not to see this as a in the form of, oh, give them more, so we have to get more. No, if it's for the flights, RWG flights, all that, let us know. If you feel like you're giving more, so you deserve more for other projects, that's when inequality is going to come in. We just want to make sure you let us understand the reasoning and rationale behind the increase.
Thank you, GPSA. Just a bit of a point. Please be precise and please be short with your statements. I won't allow 5-minute statements, okay? If this is really a direct, Bram, please go on.
Thank you so much, Bram KMPC, the Netherlands. So this is a direct comment to the disadvantages and advantages for other regions. I just want to point out that it is in the interest of other regions as well to not lose any member organizations in the European region. And we also have, as member organizations, general assemblies, that we have responsibilities too. And they're also noticing that we are paying very high contributions and they want to know that they get something in return. And we are not out to hurt other regions. We don't want to decrease your budget. We also don't want a balanced budget just because we pay more. But we think the current balance is so much out of balance that we might lose member organizations in the future if we keep it like this. Thank you.
Okay, as we have ASEPA next, but I don't feel like these are all really direct to the question that was raised by my PSA Malaysia. So please keep the speaking order accurately.
Abir Bidayda, ASEPA Algeria. I would just like to have a direct exactly about this question about inequality being also in the quality of life in all these regions, because 3,000 euros may not be the same for a European living country, but it's a lot of money for a NEMRO country. So 14,000 euros is something big compared to the euro currency and to other currencies. But in our regions, the currencies are very low, and the amount, even though it may sound small to European countries, it's very big to these other regions. Thank you.
Okay, we will now go back to the new points, please. Okay, we had my PSA Malaysia, so I will go with EPSF Egypt.
Yasmina Gulari, contact person of EPSF Egypt. So I just wanted to state my confusion over the fact that the investigation by Ms. Luca stated that there would be a minimum budget for every region, while the motion that is presented in front of us right now does not state something like that, but in fact it states based on the membership, 25% of the membership fees. So I don't know which would be carried because that's not clear in the motion. And I'd also like to bring to your attention that the outcomes of the motion, as stated by everyone before me, would affect the regions. I also believe that the regional budget is used for the same purposes over all regions. Some regions are composed of low-income countries, like Ms. Abir has stated, but that wouldn't, so if this motion is carried out, they wouldn't even be able to carry out their basic duties, let alone support their member organizations. And according to Mr. Luca's report, this motion would require cutting the amounts allocated to other items of the IPSF annual budget, which wouldn't be something in favor of the Federation, I'm assuming. I believe it is the role of the RWG to seek sponsors or hold any fundraising events to further enhance their financial status. However, setting a motion that would only benefit one region, we don't think that is right, and APSF stands against this motion. Thank you.
I have a direct on this from Palestine. Palestine, you have the floor.
Apologies, Shalina, I used the wrong number.
Okay, so please use the right number. We now have Sebastian from BPSA.
Sebastian, BPSA UK. So yeah, as has previously been said, from the motion investigation, that it would not decrease. If you read the motion investigation, it will not decrease the other regional budgets, and 25% will be set for the Euro budget. Thank you.
Okay, can I go back to the new points? Thank you. We have next ASEPA Algeria.
Thank you, Rima Abdelaziz, ASEPA Algeria. So after reading and studying the investigation report on the motion 56 and the minutes from the previous GA, ASEPA Algeria is deeply concerned about the impact of the application of this motion. Indeed, as it was stated on both of those documents, the application of this motion will include a very significant increase of the Euro region budget to 1,588 euros, but at the cost of a decrease on IPSF budget itself. This decrease can be translated in a decrease in the amount of grants, traveling expense for external representation, for congresses and symposiums and such. I would like to state that the Euro region opposed as argument that the extra budget will be necessary for travel expense and projects, but knowing that the Euro region have cheaper travel expense than other regions, as PARO, APRO, and EMRO, where traveling between regions is extremely expensive to the distance, but also the weak economic situation of those regions. By that, I obviously mean the currency. I think it will be highly unfair to penalize IPSF and its project for such a questionable reason, knowing that IPSF budget is not unlimited, when Euro can still ask for an increase of budget using reserves. As Lucas stated in his investigation, the actual total budget for each region is 1,750 euro for each region, which means the total is 8,550 euro. And he stated that each region budget can stay the same with this motion, since it is already above the minimum, but the European one will be highly updated to 3,050 euro. Then the total is now 10,500 euros. There is a difference of 2,000 euro. 2,000 euro that will be taken from IPSF budget, money that can be wisely and more usefully used as grants or competition prizes for associations around the world. It can be used to help or travel from one side of the world to another, to ensure IPSF representation during official and important events such as WHA, or to give opportunity to deserving members to have access to IPSF activities such as World Congress, Symposium, and such. In my opinion, the interests of the Federation as a whole should be given higher priority than the individual interests of a region, considering the future instabilities we may face since the pandemic is still going on. Thank you.
Thank you, ASEPA. I have direct on that. KMPSV, please.
Bram, KMPC, the Netherlands, thank you for your comment. We do understand your concerns. As I explained before, we are not out to hurt other regions. Regarding your comments about the general IPSF budget, it is true that we will use money from this budget, but I just want to stress that it is up to this GA to decide where the money is coming from. So all these suggestions that you are making about projects and grants and opportunities is not necessarily true. We can use money from the reserves, or we can use money that is planned to maybe invest in a property in the Netherlands for IPSF, which is also not directly in the favor of your members right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bram. We also have a direct from Sebastian, BPSA UK.
Sebastian, BPSA UK. Yeah, it's a good point about using more money for to allow members to take part in other projects. As we've established, the current Euro budget barely covers the travel expenses of the Euro Regional Working Group. So with an increased budget, it would give more Euro members the opportunities to be involved in regional projects. Thank you.
Thank you, BPSA. I have a direct from Noob Singapore.
Hi, good day, everyone. I'm Rustam from NUSPS Singapore. Now, we have heard very convincing arguments from both sides. And I think, yeah, both sides definitely have justification here. But from the side of Singapore, which is a high-income country in the Asia Pacific, I personally feel that having a high standard of living within the region should not be justification enough to demand like a arise in terms of expenditure as well. Because as other people has brought up as well, we should be looking for sponsors and other solutions. After all, this is not a business. And we should scrimp by and we should save for the future and for the descendants. After all, we have heard from a speaker who was part of IPSF 40 years before. If we don't do such stringent measures, who is to say that we can survive this era as well? Thank you.
Thank you, New PSS Singapore. Is this the new point also from you, Singapore?
No, I actually have a new point I want to raise.
Okay, then please proceed with your new point.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, friends of the General Assembly, now we have heard from the chairpersons from the year 2019 to 2020. So now I actually want to ask as well, could we seek some opinions from the incoming chairpersons on what they think that this motion can actually bring forth to their era as well? After all, it's the future that will change, not the past. Thank you.
Okay, we have a question addressing the future chairpersons. So I would like to ask if any future chairperson would like to have a direct, and I see Sophia from CAPSI Canada. Please proceed.
Hi everyone, Sophia, CAPSI Canada. Can I just make sure everyone can hear me, please? Okay, thank you. So I wanted to speak on this motion as a CAPSI OD as well as incoming chairperson for PARO. I won't bore you with the numbers, but everyone knows that the membership fee is based on the income group of the country according to the World Bank, whereby lower income countries pay lower membership fees and vice versa. So this morning, I took the liberty of calculating the proportion of high income countries in each region, and I got some interesting results. So AFRO has 0% high income countries, APRO has 22%, EMRO has 14%, PARO has 19%, and Euro actually has 76% of high income countries in the region, which is, as we can all see, significantly higher than other regions. So yes, of course, Europe pays more membership fees, but it has the highest proportion by far of high income countries. So this motion will simply accentuate the inequalities that we have between the regions. And I myself am certain that there is a fair way to increase regional budgets, but unfortunately, this is not it. Thank you very much.
I also just wanted to address that this is a bit of like a weird situation right now because we have regional chairperson nominees that are still not elected. So having their opinions right now is, if they're not still elected by the General Assembly, is just not the proper way to do so. I hope you understand, Singapore.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we will proceed now with the, do I have a technical APIF?
Nishkolapov, Portugal. My question was exactly about what you raised now. I just wanted to ask the motion committees if these kind of questions are allowed. Thank you.
So yes, we will proceed accordingly and go back to the new points. We have LPSA Lebanon.
Hadid Mdahli, LPSA Lebanon. So we acknowledge the motion proposed by the Euro Office. However, we respectively object this proposal. In addition to all of what has been previously said as an objection, I would like to add that by assessing the budgets in previous years, we realized that all regions had a reserve, which should be the primary resort in case of need, as what has been justified the motive for this motion, before resorting to such increases in budget. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, LPSA Lebanon. And just to go back to Sophia, if you stated yourself that you wanted to raise this as CAPSI Canada as well, so please disregard it as a PARO chairperson and have a new point as CAPSI Canada. Okay, thank you. We will now go on with ATIP Tunisia.
Imna Khadrawi, ATEP Tunisia, speaking on behalf of ATEP Tunisia as a member association in the Federation and the region of Emru. We think that the difference in the 25% is creating an unfair balance between the region, and as Lucas said, this won't affect the Euro region since they only they are privileged in the matter of transportation and infrastructure, etc. On the other hand, the other regions are highly affected. As an example, I state my country, Tunisia, who couldn't afford to have the OGs in the last World Congress, neither the EMPS that was supposedly to happen in the Sudan. Not to talk about the SEP that is considered highly costed and unaffordable to some. So the distribution based on the number of association per region or on the SEP fees that each MO pays is not necessarily adequate and considered as unfair. In the situation, we think that the regions Afro, APRO, EMRO, and PARO should be privileged, or should I say, we should consider the affirmative action. Thank you.
Thank you. We have now next GPSA Ghana. Oh, sorry, is it ASEP
Hello, can you hear me?
Algeria? Sorry. Did ASEP Algeria already had his point? I think not. Thank you. Please, ASEP Algeria.
Thank you very
Hello.
much. So, Abir Bidaida,
Can you hear
ASEP
me?
Algeria. Abir Bidaida, ASEPA Algeria. I just wanted to say that if I remember right, in Mr. Joao's chairperson of Euro, in his report, he mentioned that the next regional budget for 2021 is providing for the first time an amount allocated for the RWG to visit the member organizations, which was also an argument for proposing this motion. And I believe since they already have possible solutions which they have already discussed, that this motion can be not accepted and not without doing them any harm. Thank you very much.
I have a procedural motion by BPHD Germany to limit the speaking time to 1 minute. Do I have a proposer on that? A seconder, I'm sorry. Do I have a seconder on that? Seconded by APEF Portugal. Yes, okay, you can stop with the seconding. Thank you. We will now vote on this procedural motion before we move on with the points. So anyone, remember, no abstentions. Anyone against this procedural motion? ATEP Tunisia, we are now in voting procedure, and this is a new point. Oh, I have to open, I can see. I will open the floor. Do I have to open the floor? Okay, I will open the floor for this procedural motion only. Please comment on this procedural motion. I have ATEP Tunisia. ATEP Tunisia, is this a point on the procedural motion? Okay, then I have Bram from KNPSV.
Bram, KNPSV, the Netherlands. We would like to this motion not to go through because it's very essential that everybody has the time to calmly make their points, and in order for the discussion to be fruitful, we don't see why we should limit it to 1 minute per person. Thank you.
Okay, are there any more points on the procedural motion? I think we would use, oh, okay, I see Maps India.
Niranjan from Maps India. Would the proposer be open to limiting the overall time of the discussion rather than limiting the time of the speakers? Thank you.
Maps India, this can be a new motion. Either they can now withdraw the procedural motion, or, but this, if you want to propose this, this has to be a new motion. RPEC Algeria.
I wanted to say that we are discussing
Atep, sorry, we can't hear.
Is the budget.
We can't hear you.
We should
Yes, we can't hear you.
More time we needed. So I don't think limited would be better.
Sorry about the technical. I have BPhD Germany.
We believe that till BPhD Germany, we believe that 1 minute is more than enough time to express yourself properly. Everything above 1 minute is mostly repeating yourself or bringing up 2 points at the same time. We don't want to limit anyone in his speaking.
Thank you, BPhD. I have Maps India. I might miss some points, sorry guys, but the chat is crazy.
Thank you, Niranjan from Maps India. I was just wondering if an amendment to the procedural motion is possible?
No amendments on procedural motions.
Okay, then can we propose a new motion, please?
We can propose a new motion after voting on this motion.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there are no any more new points, we will proceed with the voting procedure. Are there any new points on this procedural motion? If not, then I will assess and ask if the NEMO vote is ready. Just give me a few minutes.
Okay, Elena, the vote is prepared. Can I open it?
Yes, thank you, Joao. Please open it, and members, please vote on this procedural motion.
Okay, it's open.
Thank you, Joao. Please vote. The timer also started. Okay, we have APFIP left, ATEP, NAB Sierra Leone, And CAPSA Kenya, please vote as soon as possible. I have still ATAP Tunisia and NAP Sierra Leone left. I still have NAP Sierra Leone left. Yes, NAPS, please try to be as fast as possible because the time is ticking and we only allow 5 minutes to vote. Okay, we have the results ready. So we have 34 votes in favor, 16 against, which means the vote, the procedure motion has passed. Okay. So this means right now that we will now limit all the interventions to 1 minute. So after 1 minute, I will time it, and after 1 minute, I will call you out and give it to give the person the next floor. Also, please remember we have 6 minutes left on the agenda, so we might need to assess the floor as well if we want to prolong this, remembering that the next session already starts in 4 hours. Okay, so I see Isma Farsi Indonesia dropped their direct. So now I have APEF Portugal.
In Escola Perth Portugal, so my direct is to Algeria's comment because honestly, I don't agree with the point raised of the money that was allocated for member organizations representation, because as of now, this was the first time ever having this 150 euros. And to be honest, and taking into consideration that Euro has 34 member organizations, dividing that value for one member or one event of each member organization, it's almost zero, like it's 5 euros, I guess. So it's not beneficial. We have a lot of member organizations and we need to keep them motivated and attend their events and etc. And if we don't have this money, it's not beneficial for the federation or for the region. Thank you.
Thank you, APEF Portugal. Can we go back to the new points, please? I have GPSA Ghana.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sure. So I'm Yao, GPSA Ghana. What I don't really understand is in 2018 and 2019, Euro used less than the budget allocated to them. In 2018, Euro was the only region that made extra income of about 470 euros from maybe sponsorship, and yet still they use less of their budget. Euro still has a reserves of about 2,000 euros. So why can't they dig in there to use that? And one thing I think we are not getting fundamentally right is high income countries doesn't necessarily mean high expenditure, because trust me, it can be cheaper traveling within Europe than it is in Africa. because I've traveled within Europe and comparing it to Africa, like me traveling from Ghana to Nigeria alone cost me about $250. And within Europe, you can even get flights $20, $50 to move around. So if it's for travel justification, then it means that it's not fair, because then what does Afro do? Because we don't even have enough money to travel to hold even just a single in-person meeting for RWG every year. So I still don't see enough reasons why Hero is still using less every year.
GPSA.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you after 1 minute, okay? And Hira is
thank you, I'm
our.
done. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Okay, Bram, please. You have a direct on
Bram Kempees via the Netherlands, so direct comment to GPSA Ghana. Regarding the last few years, I just want to point out that the European region is very rapidly growing. And we also had a discussion with the previous treasurer about dipping into our reserves during the last year in Rwanda, so I will not go into that. Regarding travel expenses, I also want to say that this is not just about travel expenses. We have heard it a lot during the discussion, but the point is that we are using the money for our events, our projects, and also travel expenses, but not just travel expenses. Thank you.
Thank you, KMPSV. We have BPSA UK.
Sebastian, BPSA UK. I want to thank Yao for bringing up the point about Euro being a high GDP region. As you can see during this weekend, my room has no windows. We're not all millionaires, and a lot of the Euro members are students, and they are not able to afford a lot of the IPSF Euro events. So this would give more opportunities for these members to attend the events. Having a rich region does not mean that your members are rich. Thank you.
Okay, we have a direct from up of Portugal.
Ines Colop of Portugal. So my direct is to GPSA Ghana, and regarding the travel expenses that you have mentioned, we would like to remind how the General Assembly that Hero has a lot of events and everything else. We have a lot of external representation and etc. And for example, I can give you a precise example of the EPSA events. And for the Euro budget, we have a budget of 595 euros, which corresponds to 34. Sorry, I mute myself. Someone mute myself. I don't know. But I just wanted to continue. And regarding the travel expenses, starting from the beginning, we have a lot of external events representation. And okay, sorry. We have a lot of external representations. We have different necessities each region. And we should not forget, and I was going to give a precise example of the EPSA events, because this is something that has to be included in Euro budget.
Okay. We have a direct from GPSA Ghana.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm actually happy you guys have raised these points, because that is my whole point from the beginning. If you are complaining because you can't do certain things, you have to recognize, you have to realize that other regions can't do these things also. It's not as if Afro is enough to do that kind of thing it does. And this is where the inequality comes in. Now, Euro can do something to increase budget, but then Afro cannot do anything to increase their budgets. That's where the inequality comes in. So you can't be doing this really at your comfort and then growing at a very rapid pace, whilst other regions who have no other option have nothing or any around it, because
we have a technical GPSA, you cut. Up of your, done with your point?
Hello?
Yes, GPSA, you were cut.
Okay, so I think I didn't get to finish my point, but let me just reiterate. What I'm trying to say is this is where then the inequality comes in, because now Euro has enough to do all these kind of things, and then the other regions have no way to increase their budget because no other calculation makes sense. So if you get to my point, so I'm happy you raised these points, Sebastian and Bram, and all of you are raising these points of you need to do more projects, you need more to travel and do all this. You have to realize that you have to ask yourself the question, so how are other regions also going to do this to grow? Because they need to do these things you are doing to also grow. And the whole point is there is no other way that other regions can increase their budgets because no calculation just seems to work because we are not contributing enough. So this is where the inequality comes in. And that's what I'm trying to say. So can't you use your reserves, or can't we then encourage to fight for sponsorships for the region to run the affairs of the region the way we want it?
Time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, GPSA Ghana. This is getting a bit heated and also a bit confusing with the discussion. We have a point of information from Aya.
Okay, thank you. Yelena, can you just confirm if you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a point of information / technical. I would like to address this point to the whole General Assembly. I ask you kindly to address your point in a professional way and to lower the stress and tension in the discussion, to keep in mind only the benefits of all members and federation while you're speaking. And hopefully by the end of this discussion, we can end up with a decision that benefits all of you. So please just when you're discussing, try to lower the tension accordingly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aya. I also need to address the General Assembly that we have reached the time limit for this session, remembering that the next session should start in 4 hours. So I need to assess the General Assembly if you want to end the session now here and table the motion, or move on and prolong the session. So just thinking about how do I do this? Okay, can I have all of these saying okay? Thank you. Motion to, we have a procedural motion to table the motion. Can I have a seconder? Thank you, South from Bosnia and Herzegovina as a seconder. So this is a procedural motion. This means we have no against and no abstentions. So I would just need to ask if we can prepare a NEMO vote for that. Thank you. God, sorry, I forgot to open the floor on this motion. Do we have any comments on this procedural motion? Okay, then I would like to assess AFIP until to please specify to when do you want to table this motion? Next session. Okay, thank you, AFIP. So this would be tabled to the next session. We have a procedural motion ready. Just give us a few minutes. Okay, are there any other points on this procedural motion? I will take them now. If you want to say something on this procedural motion to table this motion to the next session. I see no points. So I will close the floor on this motion and we will proceed to voting as soon as it's open.
Okay, Yelena, the motion is creative. Can I open it?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, it's open. Thank you.
Thank you, Joao. The timer started. Please vote. We also won't delete the speakers list until the next session, so you know. So we have left IP Mali, IP FIP, FASFOR, FECOF, GPSA, and PANS, and Pakistan. We have still left FECOF, GPSA, PANS, FASFOR, and Mali. We have FASFOR, GPSA, and PANS left. We have FASFOR and PANS left. Please, FASFOR and PANS vote. We still have FASFOR and PANS left. Please vote. I know you're in the room. You have around 1 minute if you want to vote. Are you guys present? It was that you're in the room. Are you guys here in the room and present? Phosphor is still left. Time is up. Please close the vote.
Okay, the vote is closed.
So we have 35 in favor of this motion and 13 against. This means the motion passed. And we will table this to the next session. Thank you. Once again, before we move on to suspending the standing orders and ending the session, I just wanted to say once again that please, when you next time at the next session have anything about to say, you have to represent your member organization, and also you have to respect that these are the opinions of the member organization and nothing personally. Okay, I have a clarification from ASEP Algeria.
I just wanted, sorry, Abir Bedaida, ASEPA Algeria. I just wanted to ask if the speakers list will be the same for the next session or if we'll be having a new one. Thank you.
Motions committee. So we have a direct on the clarification, you mean, Agatha, or we can keep it? ASEP Algeria.
Thank you. So Abir Bedaida, ASEPA Algeria. I would like to address a point of order because we believe that Rima Abdelaziz from ASEPA Algeria's name was supposed to be next and it was taken off. Thank you very much.
Okay. Number 19, we will remember that. Thank you, ASEPA. And so please remember what I said, that you are representing your member organization and you shouldn't address someone personally in any way, either the General Assembly or outside. We will now proceed to suspend the standing orders. Do I have a proposer and a seconder? Maps India, seconded by UPSA Uganda. Is anyone against this procedural motion to suspend the standing orders? If no one is against, it was carried unanimously, and we will end this meeting and proceed to the next session. Thank you.